Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be doing something old and something new. So we are going to review some talk about multiplying whole numbers and multiplying mixed numbers. There are videos on both of these topics, so if you are really confused, please go back to those ones. So let's start with our whole numbers. So here I have a whole number 3 and a fraction. I want to multiply them together. In order to do that, I have to make this whole number a fraction. There is a really easy way to do this. It's a super sneaky trick that hopefully you've caught on with. All you need to do is draw a line and put it over 1. 3 wholes is equal to 3 1 wholes. Nice and simple. And then we just multiply the tops and the bottom. We check to make sure nothing's going to cross reduce. Nope, I don't think it will. So off we go. 3 times 1 gives me 3. 1 times 5 gives me 5. I have the fraction 3/5, and I can't reduce it, I can't change it. It is good to go. There we go, nice and simple. Now, mixed numbers is a little bit more complicated, but let's see what we can do. First of all, we do not like mixed numbers. We gotta change that into a fraction. So I'm gonna draw my little curly line so that I can remember what I'm doing. Times the first 2, add the next one. Keep the denominator. So this becomes, the denominator is 5, so 5 on the bottom. And then I do 2 times 5, that gives me 10. 10 plus 4 gives me 14. That is equal to 14/5. I'm then going to multiply that by my fraction here, 10/11. I look to see if anything cross reduces. I think it does. 5 and 10. Let's take a look at those numbers for a minute. So I'm going to write that over here. 10/5. 5 fits into both of those. So I reduce it down. 10 divided by 5 gives me 2. 5 divided by 5 gives me 1. That becomes my new numbers. So 10 became 2. Cross out the 10, replace it with 2. 5 became 1. Cross out the 5, replace it with 1. Oh, phew. Those numbers are a lot easier to multiply with. 14 times 2, that's just going to give me 28. 1 times 11, that's just going to give me 11. Wait a minute. I was almost going to say we're done with this problem. We can't be done yet. Look at the top number. Way too big. This is an improper fraction. We got to change that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's put a division sign over here. We're going to do 28 divided by 11. 11 fits into 28 2 times. 2 times 11 gives me 22. That means I have a remainder of 6. So my fraction is 6/11 with that. So another way to write this is 2 wholes and 6/11. And that is our answer. So we can write it up here, 2 and 6/11. There we go. That is the review work. Let's get to these new problems now. These ones, we are combining both our whole numbers and our mixed numbers. We're getting complicated up in here. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to start by looking at the 4. 4 is a whole number. To change that into a fraction, I just put it over 1 like that. Now, because I'm going to have to change my mixed number too, I'm going to write that below here. So I have 4 over 1 times, and now I have my mixed number. I'm going to draw my nice little curly thing. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 gives me 3. I keep my denominator as 2, and now I have 2 numbers I can multiply together. Does anything cross reduce? It does. Look, the 4 and the 2. Let's try that out. 2 fits into both of those. So when we reduce that, we get 2 over 1. So my 4, in this case, became a 2. My 2, in this case, became a 1. And now I write my answer. 2 times 3 gives me 6. 1 times 1 gives me 1. 6 over 1. Technically that is a fraction, but I think there's a better way to write that. Anyone else agree? If you do, see if you can get it before I can. I'm moving fast though. That's the same as 6 wholes. Who would have thought? So whenever you see a number over 1, remember you can just write that as a whole number. And that's perfect. I write that as my final answer and we're good to go. Now let's look at this one. Same sort of question, different numbers. So, first of all, I have my whole number. How do I change that into a fraction? Well, I add a line, I add a 1. That's the same as 3 1/2. There we go. Now I have to change my mixed number. I draw my curly line. 3 times 3 gives me 9. 9 plus 2 gives me 11. What's it over? Well, the 3 is there, so I have to keep the 3. And now I'm ready to do my multiplication. Now, grade 4s, let's say I don't catch that I can cross-reduce here. Look at this. Easily I can cross-reduce that, but let's pretend I'm having a rough day. I completely forgot that cross-reducing was a thing, so I'm just going to multiply this out. 3 times 11 gives me 33. 1 times 3 gives me 3. Now I have this really big number that I'm going to work with. Can I still reduce that and get the right answer? 100%. I've just made it a little bit harder on myself because my numbers are a bit bigger. So maybe I think, oh, that's an improper fraction. I gotta change that. So I write out my division sign and I will get right to changing that. So I do 33 divided by 3. 3 fits into 3 one time. 3 fits into 3 one more time. Oh, if you were smart, you might have caught that it fits in 11 times already. Silly Miss Raymond did not catch that, but who knows, maybe she'll catch it next time. So 3 times 1 gives me 3. I have no remainders, so this is equal to 11. Now, if we'd cross-reduced here, grade 4s, that would have become a 1, that would have become a 1, and then we would have gotten 11 over 1 equals 11. So if you look, I got the same answer. This way was a little bit easier, which is why we like cross-reducing, but if you can't see it, it's not the end of the world. Give it a try anyways, and you will, I'm sure, get the same answer and get the right answer. So keep on practicing. I hope that you are having a lovely day. God bless.